Y'all lucky. I just woke up. Come on in, let's vibe about it. We're gonna finally talk about these debt collectors calling you. Don't call me no more. I don't owe you nothing. Everybody's favorite word. Come on. Ooh, I promise. Oops. I promise you. I promise you I'm tired. And I was sleepy. I sure am. Fix this damn belt. I'm sorry. I'm trying to fix my belt and I'm messing up everything else. Pulling up my blouse and it don't make no difference. Hey, what's going on? Hey, I told everybody I've been promising now for a couple of weeks about how to deal with debtors and how to clean up your own credit. Me tonight. I had laid here and dozed off, had ate me some chicken and some cornishes and dressing. Took me a container of that out the freezer. Made me some coleslaw, a good cold Pepsi pop, and a slice of sweet potato pie. And I said it's gonna be over. But anyway, I recovered from it. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna go ahead and dig on in and get started. Anybody want to come back? They can. Come to the beginning. Right now, we are at the beginning. So if you don't mind, please subscribe, like, and share to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about debtors calling you. What are debtors? Creditors. It's really creditors, but I say debtors. It's actually creditors calling you. And they are calling the debtors. And the debtors don't like that. The first thing they say is, I don't owe you. A creditor is somebody that you owe money to. You are the debtor because you owe them. So they're going to call you to try to get their money. Let me explain something to you. First of all, they may own the account themselves. They may be a collection agency. It could be a collection agency that vault the debt. It could be a collection agency that the company has hired to collect that debt for them. A lot of companies, when the debt gets so old, that's another thing we'll talk about, they'll sell the account to a collection agency and they buy them for pennies on the dollar, especially if they 6 months or older. That's where you see a lot of accounts that are with collection agencies. Or if they over 6 months, that's where you see that a lot of the collection agencies has bought the account. And it can be sold off 1,000 times to 1,000 different people. What people don't know is the statute of limitations on collections, if still the same, is 10 years. That heifer don't know nothing. She just talking. That might be what they tell you, but I'm a professional in it. Collections I started back in the days of, I ain't gonna start telling my age. I ain't gotta keep telling nobody I'm 62. But anyway, my collection life began with Citibank, with one of the well-known banks around everywhere. Um, Citibank is well known. You probably got a Citibank credit card. Citibank touched the world with their credit cards. They sure did. They got anybody from granny to grandpa to mama. They got daddy. They got the college kids campus. Citibank was well known for their credit cards. Well, I worked in the Erlanger, Kentucky office, which is a big, big building down there now. I worked down there before we moved into. And they said that they took the old building that we moved out of and turned it into another location or another section of Citibank. We moved to the new location, and it's all not far from each other. But was disappointed because they had hyped up the building so that we just thought we was moving in this elaborate, and they told us marble staircases and everything, which what they called and they told us was not a lie. It just not was what we expected. Okay, so let's get started. Every day, this company is calling you, or this creditor is calling you. You again as a debtor, and I said stop the debtors from calling you. Okay, it was a joke. Somebody, let's see who's gonna be the first to correct it. Anyway. So what happens is, let's see, the first 30 days, it normally goes into a collection agency. But let me tell you something else too. A lot of companies, and in the case where I work for two different law firms, one was a very intense one, and you probably, anybody anywhere might have got a letter from Welton, Weinberger, and Reese. They're out of Cincinnati. I work for that law firm. But they're a law firm that just don't play. They are attorneys, and they are the attorneys that are really going to sue you. They really going to garnish your wages. So if you let an accountant, you start getting law firms notices, or you know that that debt is 6 months or more, it's time to worry. Okay. First of all, they don't have to call you. You've already um, you've already didn't pay the debt. You reneged, or you didn't follow the contract or whatever it was for the credit card or whatever the credit that they gave you. You refused or you couldn't to pay the debt. So your telephone rings, the creditor calls, ring, ring. Hello, hello. May I speak to Miss Smith, please? This is she. Hi, Miss Smith. How are you doing? This is Iris. I'm calling from Iris's collection agency, and I'm calling regarding a bill that we had here. And I wanted to call you and see if I could try to set up something for you and find out what your needs is in getting this debt resolved. Well, that's just not going anywhere. I tried paying on that debt, and then I lost my job, and I'd made arrangements on it, and I couldn't keep the arrangements. Well, ma'am, right now we're at a serious stage of this account. You are now 90 days past due, and you are currently approaching 6 months, which means that at that time, This account could be sent to an attorney's office for further action. I don't have no money. Well, let me go over the debt with you. This is with ABC Furniture. I show that you purchased the furniture on September the 28th, 2020, and the total debt was $4,500. Right now, I see you have a current balance of $2,000. Is that right? Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Okay, well, I'm here to help you, not hurt you. I want to help put you in a better financial situation. And I also, by me just showing you how and what I'm going to do to help you get this debt resolved, you can now take the other people and make them an offer. You can call them before they call you. So, okay, I see here that you are employed. Is that correct? Yes, I am. I am now full-time employed. Okay, well, that's great. Congratulations on your new job. It sounds like you had some trouble there, some bumps and bruises doing along the way, but that's okay. We got it together now, and I'm here to help you. Okay, so you do have a job. Is that 40 hours? Yes, 40 hours. How much do you make an hour? I make about $17 an hour. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, what I want to do with you now is I'd like to get this debt resolved. I want to take a note of some of your income and some of what you owe. We have some payment plans that we like to set you up on, but you do have to qualify for this plan. And it's based on the answers and you have any income and things that you need to be able to resolve the debt. Are you willing to give me the information that I need to make that determination? The debtor says yes. Okay, so we've already established that you work for ABC Furniture and that you make $17 an hour. Is that 40 hours a week? Now, I'm not finna sit here and calculate this, okay? So all of this is gonna be mock and fake. So if the numbers ain't right, don't be too much you can't count. Because I'm just gonna call out something. Because I'm not finna get up and get no calculator, okay? I'm full of Cornish hens and dressing, okay? And now I'm getting ready to get full of eggnog. So anyway, so how much do you bring home do you get paid weekly or bi-weekly? Okay, you get paid bi-weekly. How much do you bring home bi-weekly? Okay, you bring home about 800 bi-weekly. Okay. And that's after taxes, correct? Yeah, that's after taxes. Okay. So let's start with how much do you pay for rent? They give you the amount they pay for rent. Okay, I got that. Do you have a cell phone bill? Yes. How much do you pay for that? They give you how much they pay for their cell phone. Do you have groceries that you have to buy for yourself? Yes, I do have to buy my own groceries. Are you receiving any type of SNAP benefits or anything to help you out in getting your food stamp? I mean, to get your food. No, I don't get food stamps. Okay. So, how much do you normally pay a month for groceries? They tell you. Okay. Do you have any other credit card debt? Yeah, I got some other credit cards. About how much are you spending per month on your other credit cards? Well, altogether, I'm paying about $207, not including this one. Okay, I see, I see. Okay, so another question. Do you go out to dinner and eat? Yeah, how much do you normally spend? I only go out maybe once or a month. We got a bridge club that we go to and we go out and we have lunch. Okay, how much do you normally spend for lunch on that day? And I know some days you probably buy lunch for one of your other girlfriends doing your bridge club. Oh, I usually pay what about $50. Okay, okay. Do you have cable? Yes. How much do you pay for your cable? Oh, let's see here. I pay $180 a month. Wow, that's steep. Okay. Do you still have a home phone? Yes, I do. How much do you pay for that a month? Oh, I pay $45 a month for it. Okay, so what I just did was I took all your debts. I'm getting ready to add them up to see what disposable income you have. Okay, when I say disposable, that means after you pay all your bills, what is left. Okay, that's what we call disposable income. So I'm working up this plan for her based on the information that she gave me. And she says to me, I tell her that her debt is going to be, I could set her up. Now, this is me now. This is me. Because now me got to think about me too at Christmas time. Now I got to eat too. You know, and I got to buy some gifts for the grandkids and all those that help me and everything. So um, I tell her that it's going to be $105 a month. And I can set her up on a payment plan. I would need her to put $200 down, and she's gonna pay a hundred. Let's say $125 a month, and she's gonna pay that until the debt is paid in full. So I'm finna get back on the phone with her, and I'm gonna tell her this. Listen to what she says, and listen to what I say. Okay, I got y'all calculated here, and I do show that I can put you on a payment plan. It would take $200 down, and then I could set you up on $100, 125 a month. Oh wow, I can't pay $125 a month. Oh, I see what you're saying. I understand. Well, I just went over all of your debts and what you're paying out for. And my suggestion is to everybody is at this time when you owe a debt and you're trying to clean up your debt and get your credit together, you sometimes have to make a sacrifice. You say you're paying $180 for cable, and don't to get offended when I say that, say this, but that's not a necessity. Okay? We're going to leave your bridge money in there because you want to get out. So you pay your $50 a month for bridge, but if you eliminate, uh, that also that home phone because you do have a cell phone. You know what I'm saying? And once you get your debt paid and you want to get those luxuries back, you can also, always go back to them. I don't know. Let me ask you something else. Because this is what, December? Do you get an income tax return? Yeah, I normally get an income tax return. Okay, so this is what I'm going to tell you. When do you normally get your return back? Well, I do that the fast way, so I normally get my W-2 forms about the first week uh, of January, and then I take it to them. I usually get a check about the second week of January. Okay, that sounds good. What if I offered you a settlement on this debt? That means that you owe us right now, I think it was 4,000, but she down to 2,000. Okay. So if I offer you a settlement on the $2,000, do you think you could handle that? And that means you would be done cleared the debt out altogether. I don't know. Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we talk about the settlement? You say you get an income tax return, right? Yes. Now let me tell you, I'm going kind of high on this because I'm getting ready to get me some money out this too. My portfolio builds up and it never stops making money. It's almost like the videos on here. As long as that person is on a payment plan, that money goes toward my commission. And when I say commission, it's commission or bonus. I say bonus. It's not a commission because I do get paid hourly still along with my bonus. Well, why don't we do this? I'm going to settle this whole debt for you. And right now, I'm sure that the balance is $2,000. I'm going to do $1,000. I'm going to take it down to 1,500. So I'm going to knock 500 off of it. You're going to do $500 down. We're going to set that up for January 15th for the first down payment to be done. Okay? Then we're going to take the rest of the payments and we're going to divide them by 12. Okay? And this is going to be working on your settlement. And then you're going to make your monthly payment. I ain't dealing up numbers. If y'all want to, do up the numbers, y'all can. I ain't doing all that. So, anyway, what I just did was I negotiated a settlement with a payment plan. Okay. But then you may get a call and you can basically tell them what you want to do. The one thing that they want to do, and especially if it's 6 months or more, they want to get some money off of that debt. They want to resolve it. They want their money. They're not trying to go to court. They will, though. And it depends on what the guidelines is for that company, how much the debt has to be before they send it off to an attorney's office. That's when they used to come to me. Wow. Like I said, I work for Wellman, Weinberg, and Reese, downtown Cincinnati. Swicker and Associates down in Kentucky. I think them the only two law firms I ever worked at. When we get them, they 6 months and more past due. So we ready. We got you. We got you. We got you. We got you. Because guess what? During the line of being in this collection thing and these people calling you, whether it be the person that you had the debt with, or if it's the person that they done sent it to a collection agency, not sold the debt yet. Then it may go to 5 or 6 collection agencies. And guess what? And none of them could collect on it. For 6 months, they couldn't collect on it. You know what I'm saying? So if they own the paper, 9 times out of 10, it's done been out there 5 or 6 years, and everybody just buying it. At this point, they trying to get anything off of it. And the first thing you tell them when they call is, I don't owe you nothing. Because it's a collection agency, you're not familiar with the name, but that account has either been assigned to a collection agency to collect on it, or this collection agency bought the debt. Or it could be like with a credit card, it could be the actual bank calling you. It could be Citibank Collections, me, in recovery calling you back in the day. Because we did our own collections. When we had beat that paper up and collected on it and seen that it was non-collectible, it didn't meet the guidelines to sue, then, we just switched it away. Let me tell you about a write-off. What a write-off is. When you get that letter and they say that your debt has been written off as a bad debt, and you don't know what it is, the most worst thing you can do is call a collector and say this when they call you. Ms. Smith, we tried to call you several times about this debt. I don't know why y'all calling me, because Citibank called me after that account got 6 months of past due. They sent me a letter and told me that they had written the account off as a bad debt. So I don't owe anything. Let me tell you what the bank means when they say they have written it off as a bad debt. They didn't write it off for you. They wrote it off for them as a profit, as not being a profit, as a bad debt, a write off, because it's 6 months or more. That because first of all, apparently you didn't understand what a write off is. So when I'm getting those kind of letters and stuff, and I don't, even with me doing this legal stuff now, and they telling me about we gonna do this, we gonna do that. I don't know none of them terms, but I do like Uncle Billy say is look it up. hmm Now, if you let me tell you something else, and this is what hurt a lot of people, is that they neglect to take the calls from the collectors. They refuse to take the calls from the law firms. They refuse to take it through the company that owns Citibank, and then they don't pay it even after 6 months have passed due and written off. Well, that's when it gets bad. When it gets 6 months and more, that's when you got to worry. Depending on how large the debt is, how soon that the lawyers will put it in court. They can't get nothing out of me. I ain't got nothing. When you got that credit, you gave them your bank information. I ain't say you gave them nothing. You not your account number, but your the bank you bank with. No account number needed. hmm Not only that, if the debt has been in collections and you set up a payment plan like you just set up with me to settle the debt, I'm only going to do it with automatic payments with a date you want it taken out each month. So guess what? You gave me your bank information. During the course of that, I snuck it in like, oh, well, who do you work for? I work for Pepsi. Okay. I work for Xerox. Oh, okay. What do you do there? I'm setting up your payment plan right now. What do you do for a Xerox? Oh, I work in human resources. Oh, okay. How long you been there? Oh, I've been there about 10 years. Okay. What I'm doing now is I'm gathering information to put on my account. Okay. So if you don't stick to this payment plan, I ain't gonna call you. You ain't gonna miss with one of them payments because they going through automatic. I'm looking and I'm counting on them payments. Because every $100 that you send in for the month, now I'm already getting a down payment, so that's already gonna look good for the month. My numbers is just rolling. I may put you on an 18-month payment plan. I'm padding it. Cause me, don't take no, you can't call in a payment. You can't mail in a payment. Now that's on that's the way. And most companies give you an option of what you want to do. So that's my thing. If you ain't gonna mail it in, you ain't been mailing it in. That's why we got to be here. So I want my automatic payments. So every month I'm building up my portfolio of accounts. Every month I have to work less and less and less because I'm building up my payments, my automatic payments. So you say I'm not, how do I want to say this? You say you missed the payment and everything. I keep calling you, you dodging me, and I done had enough. So I'm going to set it up for the attorneys. I'm gonna give them all the information. I'm gonna write down everything where you work at, cause I didn't get good notes on my account. So even if I ain't in the office, if somebody need to work my account for me, which in some cases that happens, But by you being a back end collector like I am, um, a lot of times you don't have nobody but you working your accounts in your portfolio. But then a lot of times it's in a call center, especially in the earliest stages before it gets 6 months and written off and sent to what we normally call, in most places, it's recovery. I'm a recovery collector. I don't go in doing credit cards 10 days, 15 days past due. I'm a recovery collector. So every job that I apply for, I'm applying for a recovery position because I'm doing 6 months or more. And then I'm that pre-legal girl. You know what I'm saying? Now it depends on how you work. If you're working in a bank call center, a lot of times you don't have that one-on-one touch. It's like you have it in just a law firm. Because I can get up in the law firm and walk to one of the lawyer's offices and say, here, I got this all prepared. All you got to do is send this in for garnishment of wages. They can't deny that. The business on how big the debt is and how much, because now let me tell you, believe it or not, credit card debts can grow. I had a lady that was a dentist that went into collections. She was in the late stage of collections, 6 months past due. I would call her. She give. I looked at her account. Put it that way. I'm the one that found out what she was doing, because at first they couldn't figure it out. And what she does, because you know you can cash advance your credit card, she cash advanced it $10,000 every month. But every month I would go in and look at her account, and she done sent in the $10,000. But then she quickly, before that was back in the day now. This was before the modern day. This is why they had to update their systems and things. Because what she would do is she'd hurry up and pay me. It cleared out, give her zero balance while it's going through the process. Because you know immediately when you send in a payment, it's credited to your account as being paid. We don't wait for the check to clear. And Lord, don't no collector want no return check. That's just like beating us. Hey, would you get over there and sit down? Thank you. Sit. Thank you. I thought you heard me. Thank you. But anyway, the bottom line is income tax checks, the time is coming. You finna start getting all kind of settlement letters in the mail offering you to settle accounts, okay? You don't have to go with the first thing. Negotiate with them. You know what I'm saying? Be honest with them. You know, hey, my income tax check is coming so and so. I'm calling my creditors and I'm trying to set up payment plans because I am trying to repair my credit. Just you finna get overwhelmed. If you ain't already start getting them the beginning of December, you are starting to get letters from every creditor that you ain't heard for in over 9 or 10 months, because it is now time for income tax time to come out, and they trying to get you all to settle. This is when we make our best money. hmm January, February, and March, and April. That is a collector's holiday. Um, you can call some people, and I said this before, if a person tell you, and they're not a business owner, how big their refund check was and all that, that don't mean they made big money. I ain't never got one. I think as I was younger, before I had this, I got one for like $140, $180. I'm the one that always owed Uncle Sam. Mhm. I always owed, Uncle Sam. But when you got that collecting, now you come on now, don't keep playing with me, a goddess. Now, when you got that collect on there, and you know you owe these people, don't be being snobby with them. It's almost like they got you in their hands. You need that account at 6 months past. Don't keep hanging up on them people. Because you're going to go in there right before Christmas like that man did, and I had going to sheet his wages. And he done had no money. Did I go and see his wages? Or I don't know if I going to see this. No, I didn't go and see his wages. I put a lien on his bank account. Because when I made them payment plans when he was, or somewhere down the line, another good collector took all his bank information the day he got paid, where he banked at and where he worked at. I ain't got to call you and tell you I'm going to do that. I ain't got to get permission from you. You ain't got to sign nothing. We got to sign contract, whether you took it out with me and I'm working in the bank recovery department, or that contract follows to that collection agency because they working on behalf of the bank or whoever you owe the money to. Mm-hmm. Uh, and like I said, they drastically get over there. Now I did hit your ass if they want to know. I hit his ass. Now I hurt her butt. Um. So you do want to go ahead and take care of the debt, okay? And if you do that, okay, you want to do that. Now that's when you already got the debt. You know you owe the debt. Now I'm gonna switch over. I'm gonna read some of the comments to see if you guys have any questions, and I'll try to answer it the best I can. Okay. Let's see. Miss Pretty say, "Hey Queen." Jordan say, "What you doing over Christmas weekend? Nothing. What you doing over Christmas weekend? Nothing. What do you, Jordan? Okay, okay. Jordan is a troll, so we gonna get rid of Jordan. Jordan didn't have nothing to do tonight. I don't know if Jordan is a girl or a boy, but Patsy, I'm gonna try to get to you, baby. I don't know. I don't see you on here, so I'm assuming that it was showing me that you want to buy my living room table, okay? Well, this is not the platform. This has nothing to do, unfortunately, with the sale of nothing that I'm selling on YouTube. I mean, on Facebook or on YouTube. This is about debt collections. So I think if I on everywhere that I posted it, I gave you contact information. Okay, this is not this ain't got to do with the sale of the furniture. This is helping people pay their debt. Lord, take the wheel. So anyway, now we gonna go to that, but you don't know where to start at. So starting is actually gonna be with your credit report. Because if you're trying to buy a house, a new car, and you trying to build your credit, you got to get that credit report. You got to know how much you owe, who you owe. I done messed up my little hair. You got to know who you owe, where you owe it, and everything. So now what we going to do is every year you're allowed to get a free credit report, right? So you're going to go to, I'm going to say Karma is free. And you want to sign up with them and get you what you get is the free yearly credit report. Okay. So you go and you apply for that. You can do it over the phone, as long as you can go through all the identifying questions. You won't believe how the questions they're going to ask you. You know, is any of these addresses listed below related to you? It could be somewhere you lived 20 years ago. They got it. So don't think that you hiding from these people because you ain't got to you. What hurts you more is hiding from them, and then you get caught, and then they don't want to work with you because they, like, like me. If I done had your account and I've been calling you for 2 months and you won't return my calls, I'm leaving messages. You already know why I'm calling. When you call, I got all them notes in there. And if I don't spend days and days and months of calling and leaving messages, you ain't a good candidate. I want it all. So I'm not gonna do a payment plan on your settlement. If you owe 2,000 and I'm gonna do 75%, you gonna get that down to me now, and you gonna give me a down payment. You even if you have to give me a post dated check. And how dare you bounce it? Because then you really facing two different things. People don't know that. You write a check and it bounce, that's passing bad checks. Because you wrote it to a company and you didn't honor it. So be careful writing the checks. Just think you can let it bounce and come back. Um, so what else did I want to say? Okay, so now we go into the credit report. With the credit report, you get the free credit report. You're going to go ahead and apply for that, and you can put in free credit report. You'll know those that are legit and those that are not. The legit ones are not going to ask you for your credit card at all. You are entitled to one free credit report per year. And then you go through where you do them through all three. One call, they'll get them from all three and send them to you. And that's once a year you can get that. However, once you get it, don't just throw it to the side. You're going to get that credit report, and now we finna fix our own credit, okay? You're going to go through there. You're going to dispute everything on your credit report that has a negative to it. Now, you get all these phone calls, you see all these commercials telling you that they can help you repair your credit. They can't do no more than you can. It is against the law for anybody, whether it be the collection agency, the original debt owner, they have to report as paid. Meaning, if you missing payments, the company can't go in there and rig in no way. It's automatically going to the credit bureau as a missed payment. Okay, so you got a lot of bills on here. They 6 or 7 months, maybe a year. They ain't quite made. I don't know if it's 5 years it stays on the credit now or 6 years, 7 years. I don't know. Things have changed since I was collecting. Um, so you want to dispute those. Reason why? If the paper was sold to a collection agency, they bought it. 9 times out of 10, they weren't a real well established credit agency because they bought debt that had been probably the 5 or 6 different credit collection agencies before the company sold the debt. If that makes sense to you. So you have a better chance because it's everybody wanted back in the day. Everybody that knew anything about collections wanted to have a collection agency. I had one. I had my own collection agencies, and I was working with dentists and stuff, private doctors and things, doing their accounts, getting the contracts with them and collecting on their bad debt. Because a lot of times when you go to the dentist and stuff like that, and the doctors and the independent doctors and stuff, when you owe them, they'll just sell it to somebody. If they can't collect on it, they sell it back. Well, 9 times out of 10, the bottom of the barrel collection agencies no longer exist. Their doors were closed. They couldn't, that old paper they had bought, and if it's more than 10 years, you tell them you can't. I had to tell a girl at the nail shop. They called her about a bill, said she owed something from 14 years ago. Some apartment she lived in. And she said she didn't leave there owing nothing. So me and her was sitting there talking. I said, I asked them, how old is the debt? She said, girl, they talking about this is from 14 years ago. I lived in an apartment. Something I owe $150. I said, when you get back on the line, I say you tell them the statute of limitation of collections on that is up. They can still try to collect on it. And if they get paid on it, it's legit, but you don't have to pay it. But if you don't pay it, it's on your credit report. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times if you dispute it, the credit bureau gives them 30 days to respond. On that 31st day, if that debtor, that creditor, the bank, the car lot, whoever it was that you, even the pay here lot, whatever, on that 31st day, they are going to erase it off your credit report. That is what these people are doing when they say that they can repair your credit and they're gonna charge you $600 and $700. They sitting down, they calling all your creditors, asking them to negotiate, because they even call me. Okay? If I got your account, they're calling me to negotiate a deal with me to help you get this paid. And while they negotiating the deal, they gonna make sure that they negotiated where they making something off of it too. Because they gotta get paid. Then they gonna tell you for them to do this for you. Let's say you have to pay them $100 and some a month on top of your debt. So you paying them to do what you can do yourself. If that's, just think, if you pay them $100 a month and they set you up on an 18-month payment plan or a 12-month payment plan, just think of how much money you done paid. So now you do that on the 31st day, then the credit bureau companies are going to start sending you, oh no, you're going to dispute them because you got the credit report. I'm sorry. You're going to dispute them and wait for the 31st day. And then you're going to go in and normally you ain't got to do nothing. They going to send you a letter or send you a credit report showing you the ones that were removed because of no response, or those that are still collectible and the people still looking for you. Them are the ones you want to call and make a payment arrangement. I'm telling you this around income tax time because that's when people have a lot of disposable income and they don't use it wisely. Or they say, with my income tax check, I'm going to pay down on me a house. But when they go to the bank and they got all these negatives on their account, I don't care how much money you bring in there, no bank is going to invest in you. Okay? So, like I said, you gonna start getting a report, credit report, of all the ones that you disputed. It's gonna show you whether it was erased because of no response, or it was responded to as debt still owed. That's who you want to call and make your payment plan with, whatever you got left. People don't realize that depending on the amount of debt and what's holding your credit score down, credit score is not uh, only based on the credit cards that you have a balance on. They can base it on the fact that you have a credit limit on that account. So anyway, you're gonna negotiate with you're gonna call these people and you're gonna negotiate with them. Once you negotiate with these people and all these payments and these payment plans start ending, you're gonna see your credit score rising. You'd be surprised of how a couple of debts have taken a 600 credit score to seven something. It depends on how much the debt weighs, based on credit report terms, okay? But that's the way that you go ahead and you can repair your own credit, and you ain't paying an extra $600 or $700 on top of what you already got to pay for the debt. You do have some companies back in the day that was legitimate, and they were agencies that did it for free through organizations, but you knew you always knew which ones those was. But that's a start, and I will follow up. Or am I gonna follow up? I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, if you got any questions, please leave them in the comments. I will go through and I will answer. Um, I'll answer the questions, and if anything you need to ask me through comments, go ahead and ask me through comments. What do I do? Who do I start with? I got this one annoying debt, and it don't even have to be you. It don't, and don't even, if you leave me something, it may not even be for yourself. And I'm not questioning that. I'm not trying to say, oh yeah, honey, they got a whole, it could be you asking a question for somebody else that you know is having financial difficulties. That's one of the things we have to do is help each other. I was listening to this and I know, this lady, she used to be a debt collector. I've been a collector for over 30 some years. I made my first seven figures, and now I had already been at six figures. I had did that in 2002, and right back then, and that's another story. I'll tell you how we used to finance military cars, and instead of this company, Security National, they decided, Jason, one of the managers, he was manager of collections, and Jason just started this thing like, when these counts are 6 months past due, and we selling them to collection agencies, why don't we start a recovery department? It was 10 of us, and they put 10 beasts out there. It was 10 of us, and all of us was beast in collections. Because when you go into applying for recovery positions in collections, you have to have some experience. So that's how I got the 5-star vacation to Jamaica. My co-worker, and we all had a chance. It was three prizes. It was the Corvette, the 5-star vacation, um, to any island you wanted to go to. You could pick it, and it was all inclusive. And then the third one was a monetary, and you had to hit a level over a whole year. You had to hit a certain level. They had a certain number for what would win the car. You had to collect, let's see, $367,000 to get the Corvette over 12 months. Or then the next level was the the All Star trip. I think it was Jamaica, and it was all to Jamaica. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. But you could choose any resort, and they would do it. And then you only had to pay the taxes on whatever the winning you what you won. You always have to pay taxes. So when you see them people on Let's Make a Deal and all of them, if they getting money or merchandise, and if you don't believe me, go all the way back to the Andy Griffin days when Ain't B won that freezing, that mink and all that, and she was just as happy and showing it off. And then when they came to tell her this is the amount you had to pay on taxes, she couldn't afford it. But what she did do was she could sell her gifts and pay the taxes on it, which my co-worker on that vet, I think that vet back then was $44,000. He wanted them to give him a minivan if he won, which we knew he was gonna win. We all it was three of us we knew we thought was gonna get a vet, but we didn't. The numbers were harder to get than we thought. Now Feliciano was one. He didn't get up to go to the bathroom. He didn't get up to eat. I used to tell him his wife was gonna lose him because he was gonna mess up that little thing down there from going to the bathroom. He would wait until he's at the bare minute. Everybody can watch him running to the office to the toilet to use the bathroom because he didn't sit there. He's not gonna miss no call, and he ain't gonna help no another coworker by taking their call and setting up because we could take each other's calls and set people up on a payment plan in that way because every answer call is important. Every call you get somebody on, if you a beast, you got a payment. So try those things. Those are tips. Like I say, if you got anything individual you want to ask me about, leave it in the comments and I will respond. Let me see how many people. Let's see what I got out here. Let's see. Okay, well, it don't look like I had no questions. Thanks for the 20 likes. Normally people will wait until end of the broadcast, and thank you guys. I'm so excited about my short reels hitting 10K, 5K, 3.4K, and it's all about me. It's just me and Goddess. Doing reels on me and Goddess. That 10K made me feel like 10K views. Yes, it did. But anyway, like I said, I just wanted to come out and give you a few tips and share with you some ways to go ahead and get rid of them annoying debts and go on and buy that house, go on and buy that car, and leave them credit cards alone. I holler.